Now today we're going to talk about Israel and also about Jews, and I'm going to attack this problem in two different ways. One, people from the Israel, and the other one is going to be Jews around the world, because they are kind of two different things those days, and I have those few data here and some history map because I think it's going to be interesting, and we're going to look exactly how they live, and just we're going to check the borders very quickly. So now, for now, let's go about the first one. We're gonna talk about the Israel population itself. Now we're gonna see trajectory is gonna go up to the infinite, but the growing rate is pretty much all over the place, as you can see here. And back in 1955, there used to be 1.6 million Israelis, let's call it, not Jews, because you're gonna see they are not exactly all Jews. And now in 2025, there are 9.5 million, so a huge increase, as you can see. Yearly changes was 4.4 back then, and now it's 1.39. And also even back then they have like 62,000 people net growing population, and now they have around 130,000 people. So already see more than double it. But migration in those parts used to be pretty much, I would say, the same all over the years, especially a few, let's say 90s, we have 178,000. But usually I would say that there's not that much difference between them. So I don't see a much point of this discussion here, but they have migration on plus. That's a good point for them, I would say. 1955, the median age was 24 years old. Now it's 30 years old. So there is kind of a change, but not a huge one, but still nevertheless a change. But look at this one. Fertility rate, 1955, 4.3, 4.4, and now it's 2.75. So you can see they're going down in a fertility rate, which is not a good sign, I would say, but it is what it is, I guess, even though those part of the area. Now, 1955, the urban population was 77%, now it's 91%, so almost 100%, so not that much difference. But let's look very quickly in the future. In 2050, it's going to be 13.1, let's say, million people, and you're gonna see they still have a growing rate on plus about 1.2, and the yearly change is gonna be 150,000 people. So they're gonna keep past, I would say, even grow it a little bit with how many people actually are in the countries. After you make the calculation who's born, who die, they still increases by 150 per year. But migration, it pretty much plateaus now a bit around 15,000 people, and also the median age goes a bit up, but not that much. 32, 33 is not a huge income, it's not a huge growing number. But the fertility rate, now we start to have some serious problem, I would say, because they are almost close to going under the replacement threshold. So they are about 2.31, and it's gonna be in 2050. So who knows? Maybe it's gonna change a bit after a few years from now, and probably it's gonna go under 2. But you're gonna see how that's gonna play out for them. The urban population is gonna stay pretty much the same. So which is it's kind of interesting, this part actually. Usually you see them growing. Even if you have 90%, they still go to 95, 98, 100. Who knows? But they kind of stay the same. I would say they go just a bit down, but not that much, so you're not gonna see a difference there. But that's interesting, I would say. But now, life expectancy for the average person there, it's 82.7 years old. Female around 85, and males around 81, so pretty close one to each other. Infant mortality 2.9, which is very good. Death under age of 5 is good, but not great. They have to go under 3 to make it really good. So, but overall, I would say a good percentage. Now, they don't have, especially by counting population exactly, they don't have a city that have more than 1 million people. The closest that comes with Jerusalem at 971,000, but that number is shifting, so probably you could go above or a bit under, who knows, but they're around, let's say they're around a million, let's say. But now when you look at this, I saw something interesting. This pyramid looks very well for them. It's just a solid base, like everybody should have in their country, but that's not gonna happen pretty soon. And also the population, it's around, they say 9.8. This side says 9.4, but growing, so I would say it's pretty accurate, who knows. But what I am interested and I want to see, I think I found it somewhere around, let's see if I find it very quickly. because there are a difference actually between what's counted as Jews and what's counted as Israelis, I would say. So you can see right here the major ethnicity is Jewish with 7.2 from those 9.8. So you have to have like 73% of the population, but then you have Arabs with 2 million. So you have a big population, I would say, in Arabs that have the Israeli citizenship. So and I bet a lot of from those fertility rate numbers, they will came from those Arabs. And now we kind of have a problem here, because when you think as Israel, you think as Jews, let's face it, and this number is going down, fertility rate, with time, as we can see in other developed countries. But how much are from the Jews and how much are from the Muslims, let's say? Because I have a feeling that the Jews' fertility rate are much lower than let's say the average of the country, and the Muslim one, it's higher. So you already kind of run into a problem, I would say. But who knows, there's gonna see how that's gonna play in the future. But now around the world, you can see those are just the Jewish population. Now we're talking not about the Israeli population, just Jewish population itself. Those are in Israel are around, like I say, 7.2 million. In United States around 500,000. In Russia 100, usually 100,000, not million. And Canada 10,000, let's say. United Kingdom 30,000, Australia 15,000, and Germany 10,000. So those, I think, are Jewish people that actually engage in Jewish culture, I would say, and declare it as a Jewish. And also that Israeli with Israeli citizenship that living in those countries. So I would say a very accurate Israeli Jewish population. But also you have around the world, you can see here. But also I think it's a kind of low number, I would say, but let's check it a little bit. So they have like 7.2 million Jews in Israel, but then they have like 5.7 million in United States, which is quite a lot, I would say. And then pretty much everything goes hugely down. Like I said, you have France 440,000, Canada 339,000, United Kingdom just a bit over 300,000. Those are people that I would say identify themselves as Jews. They are living in outside the Israel, but I'm not sure. Obviously they don't have the Israeli citizenship, but I'm not sure if they let's say the Israeli government actually count them as a, I would say, as a potential candidates for the Israeli citizenship. Because I think in Israel, it's very easy to get a citizenship. For what I heard, I don't know if they changed the rules now, but they say that you just go in Israel, you just declare as Jews, and you have a passport. So something not exactly like that, but something much more simple than other countries. So I found that very interesting. And you can see, you can count all those countries that they're living. And look at the eligible population of national officials. That's another thing. You have like 15,000 Jews all around the world. I think it's a huge low number, because everybody knows the Jews are pretty much involved in anything, especially in the US policy, and also Hollywood, they say, is pretty much Jewish. So for such a small nation, I would say they done very well from the nation. Such a small, I would say, culture, people, civilization, call it whatever you want. Just having 15 million people, say 16 million people, spread it around the world, and have such a huge influence over the politics, over the culture itself, the pop culture, the movie culture, whatever you call it. I think that's a huge accomplishment. I think they are extremely efficient. So you cannot take that from them. It doesn't matter what you say about them. You cannot take that. Just extremely efficient people. It is what it is. But now you can see, look at these numbers. Those are core connect and a large population. So, and now you have the eligible population and national officials. And here we can go down. You're gonna have around 23 million, 24 million, let's say 25 million. Let's put it right that way. Still very low, I would say. 25 million people with such a huge, like I say, influence. And you can see they're pretty much in half of the country of the world, very well spread. But most of them, you can see here now, you have 12 million in the United States, so more Jews outside of Israel. And in Israel you have like 7.7, then you have France with 750,000, Canada 700,000, Russia 600,000, UK 410,000, Argentina 360,000, Germany 275,000, Ukraine, those numbers Ukraine I don't think they are exactly accurate because I believe pretty much all of them kind of live, 200,000, and Brazil 180,000. So you can see a huge, decent population, especially in these big countries. But the United States have more Jewish people than the Israel itself. That just tell you something. Now, I just want to look at the history really quick on this map very quickly. Let's see when was the first one. I don't think I can give you that one, but it's gonna advance probably really quickly. So yeah, you can see from here was the Egyptian. So they are people in that area where it is the Israel today. They are settled from quite a while, I'd say, from the first ones. And you can see here the first time you're gonna see the state of the Israel. It was in 1047 BC, so quite a while ago. So they have some history there. And obviously with time they go up, back and forth, back and forth. This is how our civilization works. Nothing is forever. Now you have the Roman Empire, obviously. But let's see, fast forward how they done it. And you're gonna see, like I said, this is pretty much a history. Let's go back a bit. Kingdom of Jerusalem once again. So they have some, who are they now? I don't even want to spell that name. So they're coming back. Now it's the Ottoman Empire. Now you have the, let's say this is after the war. Definitely you're gonna see something hugely change. That was the Palestine from the United Kingdom. Then you have the Jewish state. Then you have the 6-day war and all that stuff. And now is this is how it looks today. So everybody knows that image. Now I just wanna real quick. Let's check some areas here. Like I say, nothing exactly on the maps, just randomly see how they live. So yeah, I already like this street. It's clean and nice. Look at this. That's a nice place to live. I like the road. They have all those bricks here. Housing are nice. I don't understand this alphabet, those letters. Always find it so that I found it weird. I have to say, just it feels like first time I said it looks like Thai for just for a second when you look at them, and then just no, it's not. It's Hebrew. So, but yeah, the housing is very nice. The road are very nice also, and I like it. They don't have that huge fences. So yeah, day living, I would say, the architecture, I would say it's better than the suburbia America. It does look nice. Let's check it. Maybe got lucky with this one. So let's check another one. Just don't go that. I'm not gonna give them as an easy pass. I just don't want to stay outside the borders because it on this map doesn't tell me the border, which is kind of weird. I want to check the southern. I think they have a city right here in the southern area, and I don't know why they going so slow. Come on, just focus. No, I don't know what's happening. It's again that Google Maps. Let's just check this one real quick here. I think I am in the Jerusalem. I am in the okay, then no, this is the Muslim. I'm not in the. That's weird when we don't have the map exactly. I want to check where that is. Maybe it's this one. And the Israeli border. I don't want to go outside them. Come on, it doesn't work. Okay, now it's working. So yeah, definitely not that's such a great area, I would say, but still nice roads. Now yeah, that doesn't look that appealing to me, especially from what we saw earlier, but still look at this, the roads are nice. Taking very well care of this part. Even the housing is not something amazing. Collect the trash very well. So those buildings looks like a communist era. I really hate them, but it is what it is. So that in this southern part, not a great place to live. But let's check another one inside here. I think you can see Gaza from the satellite. I think it's around here, but I don't know why they're going so slow. Look at this. You can see guys are from satellite. Look at this line right here. But I want to check the Israeli cities itself. And like I said, we can just randomly on the map, so see how well they done it. Again, for some reason the Google's refused to work properly. So yeah, let's see this one again. Oh, I hate those. This is exactly like a communist building, 100%. They just take the architecture from there. And this one, it's also horrible because look at how tall it is, and this one the same. So yeah, not a great area. Even here, it just look bad. Look at this. It's just pretty much the Soviet Union, I would say here. The best view from here are those palm trees. That's it. That's gonna give it up. It's not the Soviet Union. Otherwise, we can say, okay, that's in a Soviet Union district. Yeah, okay, so we're glad we see this part too. So not that great here. Look at this. The housing is doesn't look that great in my opinion. You can see pretty much nothing green. We have a tree here, but nothing green on this side. But on the other side, it's much more green. So people who don't like have a garden, and the other who likes. Yeah, this. Let's go on this street. Maybe it looks better. But no, you have those building here. So yeah, overall it's the same thing. Depends where you live. You start at the beginning. We start such strong with that great housing, and now we kind of finish a bit disappointment, I would say. But let's check one more time. Let's go here. Let's go on the beach somewhere. Let's see how they doing here. Hopefully I am still in the Israeli border. Yeah, we still are there. Yeah, again, look at this huge difference between housing. On one way of the street you have these horrible ones. Here you have a bit more modern, but then you have the old one. They are pretty weird. It's a blend of pretty much everything in the same time. Not that much appealing, I would say. But they all have a clean street. I like those buildings. Small one we have, even with those the ground floor. Usually in some countries I saw the people parking their car there. It's pretty clean, I would say. It's not like in Japan that we saw there, but still doesn't look that bad. Yeah, it's decent. I will give him a 7. Now I have to give notes. Yeah, I will give him a 7 from that, but keep in mind those Israel is pretty much I would say the only democracy in that region, and also pretty much the single Western civilization, part of the civilization in that part of the country. So part of the world. So yeah, they're pretty much surrounded by Muslims, and they still keep fighting and resisting there, which is something I would say. But we will see how that is gonna last, because like I said, the population, you have to split those numbers here in a Jewish population and in a Muslim population. And when you do that, I think this 2.7 that they declared here in 2025, probably it's already below replacement. So I would say they kind of have a problem in that area. And also this median age probably is higher for the Jewish people than the Muslims. So you're kind of running into some trouble here, but we don't have exactly the data. I don't think somebody just split them in two exactly, especially because we have some territory that occupied and all the stuff. So it's gonna be hard to just make a real clean cut and say this how many Jews they are, how many kids they have, and all stuff like that, and how old they are. But it's kind of hard to do it. But like I said, you have a huge population, but even more than you find in Israel, in America, and also they are spread all around the world. And like I said, they are pretty much efficient people. They occupied, especially like we saw in America, the higher position in society, usually like lawyers, politicians, businessmen, and doctors, and stuff like that, which is good. Like I said, they are very efficient people. We're gonna see how much they can last in this region, especially. It looks like US is kind of wanna to not isolate completely himself, but they wanna pretty much mind their own business, I would say. And we will see how well the Jewish people here in Israel, they're gonna manage to survive and stay on top in this region. And yeah, probably for the future there's gonna be some tough calls here, but you already have, like I said, there are more Jews outside the Israel than in Israel, so they really have, if something really happened here, you just pretty much have the people in US, so it's not going to be, like I say, total disappearance of the civilization. But like I say, for 25,000 people spread around the world, they are very efficient. The culture that they have, I don't know exactly how much about them, because for such a small culture, such a small people, they're still, like I say, very efficient, but they're gonna see some drawbacks, let's say, because it doesn't matter how powerful your culture it is, and you have that many people to push it forward, it's gonna lag behind, I would say. But yeah, from them here, especially by the 2050, I don't see huge problems. They have that conflict with Iran recently, but we're gonna see how that is gonna play out. But usually they kind of self-sufficient here, then they resist, so we're gonna see how that is gonna be in the future for them. But yeah, for now, I won't say that bad, but I am worried about the numbers in this population, because like I said, if you split them, probably it's not gonna look that well for them, and that is gonna be a major problem, I would say, for the future.